Should you buy Nio or Lucid stock? Well, both are down quite a bit recently. Nio is down around 56% in the past year, and Lucid is down around 68% during that time as well. And in terms of deliveries, Nio delivered around 12,000 vehicles in March of 2024, increasing by about 14.3% year over year, while Lucid delivered about 2,000 for this first quarter in 2024, or a 40% increase year over year. So in terms of historical growth, I mean, Lucid has had the better growth, obviously, just because they deliver substantially less cars than Nio, and so there's more room to grow, and it's going to be a little easier, and that potential is going to be more. But if we look at the projected future growth, what analysts are projecting, Nio is actually forecasted to grow its earnings at 48.6% going forward year over year, whereas Lucid is only projected to do about 26.7%, meaning that even though Nio delivers a substantially more amount of cars, their expected growth is still higher than Lucid's. And so, I think that clearly analysts are expecting a lot more from Nio than they are from Lucid in the years going forward, at least in the next couple years anyways. And an important thing to keep in mind is not just the growth rates, but the current valuations. Nio's price to sales TTM is 1.04, which is 24% lower than the industry average of 1.36, and Lucid's is 9.37, which is just an insane 589% higher than the industry average. Now, clearly, this makes Nio the much better option in terms of price to sales multiple valuation, which can typically indicate that it is undervalued compared to the industry. And in terms of risk, Nio's debt to equity as of today is 2.05, which is, and I say this all the time, it's not really a number you want to see around or above 2. And Lucid's debt to equity is 42%, or 0.42. So it's interesting when you look at their chances of bankruptcy, though, because looking at the debt to equity, you would think that Nio has a higher chance of financial distress given, their debt to equity is over 2, Lucid's is 0.4, but really, Nio's probability of bankruptcy is 55.5%, and Lucid's is 78.8%. So they're both pretty high, especially when you compare them to the industry median of around 20% for the auto manufacturing industry. Now, they each lost about $3 billion last year, which is really interesting to me. And they both have enough cash and assets to last, another year or two at their current rate of spending. What's interesting to me is why that number's the same when, I guess Nio just dumped a bunch of money into infrastructure. I didn't look at what Lucid's spending their money on. I hope they're spending their money on R&D and infrastructure and getting some more models out, because Nio has a lot more models and a lot more coming out than Lucid. And so overall, I would have to go with Nio on this one because 1, they sell more cars, which means they have a more robust consumer base. 2, they have higher projected growth rates. 3, they are undervalued compared to industry when using a price to sales ratio. And 4, they have a lower probability of bankruptcy overall. And then 5, finally, that last point was they just have more models for people to choose from. So please drop a like. If you have any thoughts, comment them below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.